Welcome everyone to the WRESTLEDUDE YouTube channel, as today I am going to be giving my predictions for NXT Takeover War Games 2018. We have 4 matches to break down here. I'm going to give my predictions and my overall thoughts on the show before we get to that heroic clash between the two teams that will fight inside 2 rings in 1 cage in Los Angeles. Let's get to the predictions of War Games. So first up on the card, these are in no particular order, but first up on the card we have the NXT Women's Championship being defended by Shayna Baszler against Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls matchup. This is hot off the heels of that matchup between the two at Evolution, where Shayna Baszler and her cronies Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir got involved. So we have this 2 out of 3 falls stipulation, and we have Marina Shafir and Jessamyn Duke at ringside helping out Shayna Baszler. I could definitely see Kairi Sane getting the first fall here after Marina Shafir and Jessamyn Duke possibly do a run-in angle where they beat up Kairi Sane so badly that after the bell rings for the next fall, Shayna Baszler basically locks in the coquina clutch, and then that evens it up. You know how WWE like to do the whole even the things up. You know, one person gets 1 fall, the other person gets the next fall, and then we're tied 1-1 apiece. I think the last time they ever did a 2 out of 3 falls match where it was just 2 falls back to back, I think was the Royal Rumble match last year between the Usos and Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. I think that was the last time they did that. But deciding on who gets that 3rd and final fall, I would probably say Kairi Sane, which begs the question, why put the title back on Shayna Baszler? But I mean, whatever plans they had, maybe they just wanted Shayna Baszler to say, I'm the only 2-time NXT Women's Champion. But I definitely see Shayna Baszler going up onto Raw, specifically Raw, after this TakeOver event, possibly to do that whole feud with Ronda Rousey, because I think if this whole rumor of Ronda Rousey facing Charlotte at WrestleMania is supposed to be this whole storyline culminating, I think the best way that you would do that is have both women having a similar storyline on both brands where they have a big rivalry with their former best friends. Ronda Rousey fights Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's title. Charlotte obviously fought Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's title. I could probably see them doing that again after Survivor Series, continuing that feud with Charlotte, like getting back up her courage to fight Becky Lynch and hopefully lose, because I really want Becky to keep the championship. You don't really need Charlotte to win the championship. You can have her win the Royal Rumble. You can have her beat Becky on like a freaking TV match, and then have her go into the Royal Rumble, a victory over Becky Lynch. She wins the Royal Rumble, goes to Raw, fights Ronda Rousey, has that match in the main event of WrestleMania. But getting away from Raw, I definitely think Kairi Sane is picking up the win here. We will have another 2-time NXT Women's Champion in the Pirate Princess Kairi Sane. Next up, we have a match that one person on Twitter had the best description of. It is going to be one side of Hot Topic, Aleister Black, taking on the other side of Hot Topic, Johnny Gargano, Johnny freaking Wrestling. It is a grudge match between these two. This is the culmination of this whole storyline involving Aleister Black being attacked, and it turned out to be it was by Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano wanted Aleister Black out of the picture so that way he could have Tommaso Ciampa all to himself, and Johnny Gargano's going into this whole thing thinking he's still the hero, he's still doing the right thing, but Aleister Black just says that he's going to make his entire NXT career fade to black. This will probably be one of the top matches. Actually, all of these matches could probably be the top match of the night. I would not be surprised if this gets like a whole bunch of praise from the online audience. And you guys know at the end of the year I do my top 10 NXT TakeOver matches of the year. This will definitely be high on that list if it can deliver. Now, the question is, can Aleister Black deliver the Black Mass to Johnny Gargano? Segue. I think that Johnny Gargano is going to win this match, and I think he is going to do it in a heelish sort of manner to further that whole story idea that he's slowly turning into this Tommaso Ciampa type character, and then down the line he will start to realize, like, I'm becoming this Tommaso Ciampa character. He'll stop, he'll have his rivalry continue with Tommaso Ciampa, and then we'll have their culmination of their feud. I don't know when that will be, but it'll be very cool to see when that happens. But I say Johnny Gargano picks up the win here. Next up, we have our co-main event, which is very interesting, but then again, the pay-per-view name is called War Games, so it would make sense that the War Games match goes on last, which brings us to Tommaso Ciampa versus the Velveteen Dream for the NXT Championship. Tommaso Ciampa and Velveteen Dream's rivalry here has mostly been based around Velveteen Dream accused Tommaso Ciampa of attacking Aleister Black, and then Ciampa accused Black of attacking him. So this whole feud is started mostly around the idea of just them pointing at each other saying he did it, no he did it, and he's like, no, now I want your title. And then they got into this whole feud, and Velveteen Dream lost to Lars Sullivan on TV, and it's all very weird. But then again, the whole crowd has been behind Velveteen Dream this entire time. They sort of been treating him like this whole tweener thing, and I really do think it's time for the Velveteen Dream to get the NXT Championship. But if they are going to do this whole storyline with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, where Gargano finally wins the NXT Championship, then you kind of need Ciampa to have that NXT Championship. But then again, there is also that story of when Johnny Gargano lost to Tommaso Ciampa, his first match back was against the Velveteen Dream, and he lost, meaning he was Johnny Failure. So if Velveteen Dream wins, then you could still have that whole thing playing off of it, and you could still have that triple threat or even a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship, pitting Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black, the man who was never involved in a triple threat match for the NXT Championship. Remember, Velveteen Dream and the champion Tommaso Ciampa. That could be a very cool fatal four-way match with a lot of workhorses from NXT. But in the idea of this match, since I have to pick one person, I'm going to pick Tommaso Ciampa. And finally, the final match on the card, it is going to be the War Games match. No, wait, I have to say it right. It's the War Games match! So it will be the main event, the War Games match, pitting the War Raiders, Ricochet, and Pete Dunne against the Undisputed Era. This is the second year in a row that the Undisputed Era have been in a War Games match. Obviously last year it was 3 teams. It was Sanity, the AOP, and Roderick Strong, and the Undisputed Era. Obviously this year the layout has changed, considering there are only going to be 2 teams in this one. They're going to have a match this week on NXT to determine who gets the advantage. I already know who that is since I read the spoilers for it in preparation for this, but I won't reveal that. I'm just going to give my predictions for this. This is going to be pretty interesting. They did a lot of great stuff in the last War Games match for NXT last year. I don't know what other new spots they could do. They had that whole table spot with Alexander Wolf where he got like his head like cut open. He was gone for like a freaking month. But I don't know. There's definitely going to be a giant spot from Ricochet where he like does a giant dive off the cage. That's got to be in there somewhere. Probably maybe when like all of them get in the ring, if he's like one of the last people to come out and get in the ring and everybody else is like brawling in there, he's probably going to scale the cage and like dive off of it. But given everybody involved, I would give the victory to the team of the War Raiders, Pete Dunne, and Ricochet. I think that Undisputed Era are on their way up to the main roster. They can't stay in NXT forever. I think the best way for them to go out is in this War Games match, and then their last like TV match will be Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong or Bobby Fish dropping the NXT Tag Team titles to the War Raiders on NXT TV, since we never really see a lot of Tag Team title changes on NXT nowadays. So it'll be a very cool outing for the Undisputed Era. I don't think they're going to get like demolished or anything. I still think they're going to have a good standing and everything, but I could definitely see this being the swan song for the Undisputed Era, which means that the Undisputed Era have to lose, and my prediction for this is it's going to be the team of the War Raiders, Pete Dunne and Ricochet, picking up the win. So those are my predictions for 2018's NXT Takeover War Games. What are your predictions? Leave me them in the comment section down below.